What psychological biases make people avoid contingency planning? Imagine you're steering a ship through rough waters. You might think nothing bad will happen and ignore the need for a backup plan. That's the kind of thinking we're talking about today. When it comes to managing projects, avoiding contingency planning can be a big mistake. But why do people do it? Let's explore some common psychological biases that lead to this behavior. First up is optimism bias. People tend to believe that negative events are less likely to happen to them than to others. In project management, this means believing everything will go smoothly. So, project managers might skip creating backup plans because they think problems won't occur. It's like thinking your project will finish on time without considering unexpected delays. Next is the planning fallacy. This is when people underestimate how long tasks will take or how much they will cost. They focus on the best-case scenario and ignore past experiences showing delays or extra expenses. Because of this, teams might see contingency plans as unnecessary or overly pessimistic. They believe they can handle issues if they come up, so they don't prepare for them in advance. Confirmation bias is another factor. This bias makes people look for information that supports their current beliefs. If a project manager believes their plan is solid, they might ignore warning signs or risk indicators. They dismiss suggestions for backup plans because they want to believe everything is under control. This false sense of security can be dangerous during project execution. Groupthink also plays a role. When teams want to stay united, they might avoid raising concerns about risks. People may hesitate to suggest contingency plans because they fear disrupting harmony or being seen as negative. If everyone agrees on a plan, the idea of preparing for problems might seem unnecessary or even frowned upon. Negativity bias can sometimes cause avoidance too. While it usually makes people focus on negative information, in some cases, it leads to denial. When risks seem too frightening, people might prefer to ignore them rather than face the possibility. This can cause delays in planning for emergencies or backup strategies. Finally, the sunk cost fallacy influences decisions. Once a lot of resources are invested in a plan, project managers might resist changing it. They don't want to admit that their initial plan might be flawed, so they avoid adding contingency measures. They prefer to stick with what they've already committed to, even if new risks appear. Knowing these biases helps project managers recognize why they might avoid contingency planning. By questioning optimistic assumptions, reviewing past data, encouraging open discussions, and updating plans regularly, they can build more resilient projects. It's all about being aware of these mental shortcuts and making smarter choices to handle risks effectively.